I'm still striding.
Listen. Go a little bit into this the streaming that you explained about, because again, when I went to the show, and I went to many shows, there's even comedians, right? They'll have mixtapes and things out on the table. And of course, my generation stream heavy. So my first thought is like, I don't really have a disk drive to play these things. So naturally, I'm just going to go to YouTube Music. I'm going to go to Tidal. I'm going to go to Spotify. But from what you're informing me, you're not, the royalties, it's not well to pay off at the end of the day.
Oh gosh, no, it's horrible. It's horrible, especially Spotify. I actually was anti-Spotify for a while. I had to break down because now my music's back on there, and I gotta have an account, and I gotta see what's up with the world of Spotify. But I mean, Spotify and Apple Music pay like a fraction of a cent per stream. So when you have somebody like Taylor Swift going public saying, I'm taking all my music off of Spotify, and this is a major artist who probably had, you know, maybe a million streams, maybe got her a check for like $2,000.
Wow.
Imagine how much someone who's independent, who may have maybe in 1 month, you might have 5,000 streams. I've literally seen payments for a fraction of a penny in my royalty account. 0.09 cents.
Wow.
For my streams. That is a real thing. Like, it is, streams do nothing for us, like financially, nothing. You get a fraction. That's why even if you don't want to sell your album, a lot of people put their music on what's called Bandcamp.
Right.
Because Bandcamp, you could buy it digitally. And let's say you sell your record for $15, you're going to get probably like 13 of that directly to you. Or if your single is sold for $2, you're going to get like $1.50 of that. Whereas if someone plays your single on Spotify, you're getting 0.0009 cent.
Wow.
Real talk. I mean, and people have like jokingly like put up their royalty statements. So you can see. It's laughable. So if that's what you're bringing in from streams, and then your shows, you're independent. So they ain't offering you what they're going to offer an Erykah Badu. They're not going to offer you the kind of money they're going to give freaking Ariana Grande or Bruno Mars or Anderson .Paak. They're going to offer you some little rinky-dink bit of money to get on stage. And then you got to pay a couple people behind you in the band. Right, like, how do you live this way? How do we make a living? It's a real problem. Streaming is not helping us at all. Even if, I discovered you on Spotify, cool. But then what? Are you gonna come to the show? Are you gonna buy the full record? Are you gonna not stream it? You gonna download it?
Wow.
That part of the industry really gets under my skin, because it's really hard out here to survive financially, and as like just a grown-up adult trying to, you go to law school, you put in 4 years of law school, and you take your bar and you pass your bar, and then you start representing people in court, and they say, yo, can you just do this for like $5? Can you represent me for $5 every time? I mean, why can't you do this pro bono every time? Like, you went to school so you can make that lawyer money. Like, you know what I mean? And the crazy, you spend money on the education so that you can get that money back down the line. I spent a lot of money on these, and I'm not making none of it really back.
Wow.
And then you get taxed on what you do make, so it's like, it's real. And a lot of artists, we can all agree, it will make you want to give up just on the financial part alone. Then popularity, social media numbers being a reason why people won't book you. Back in the day, you had booking agents and people who would promote your shows. Now, basically, you're the promoter. If you don't overpost every 5 minutes, I got a show, the venue blames you for the small turnout. Back in the day, I would blame the venue. Like, wow. where your patrons at? So it's a new time, and it's a harder time. But luckily, people are innovative. People trying to use this, social media and these content to their fullest. They're trying out here. So, I mean, luckily, I'm just a hard head, stubborn. I'm not giving up personality, because there have been plenty of times where I'm like, how do I win here?
Wow.
I don't want to be broke forever. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it seems like the same old thing that's been a part of the industry even from the beginning. A lot of our major artists, it's a lot of issues that go on with their estate, you know, financially. It's a lot of hands in the pot. And is that one of the reasons why you chose to stay independent, never went, you know, to sign with a major at any point in your career?
Yeah, I never had an interest in it. I also, being a journalist, I also did a lot of what you do. You know, I interviewed a lot of artists, and you know, the stories of having to be changed. I interviewed Music Soul Child, and you know, some of his stories. Him telling me he wanted to do a reggae album at one point, and they were like, "You can't do a reggae album." Like the label being like, "No," you know, that control. And I am, when it comes to art, especially, very controlling of my art. So the thought of relinquishing my power to a label, the money that I would owe them, also being a part of the organizations where I am around celebrities and around that world kind of freaked me out. So, you know, I just never, I never had a desire to get in that machine that heavy. And now a lot of my favorites are leaving their labels and going indie. You know, a lot of big brandies indie. Like a lot of people are indie now, you know. The biggest thing was I was just very fearful of being told I would have to change. You know, cut your hair, you know, perm it, put a weave in it, get your booty injected, like twerk in your videos, put a little auto-tune on that jump. Throw like 90 different rappers mumbling on your jump. Like I just didn't want nobody telling me what to do.
Right.
And I was willing to take that struggle, sacrifice for that freedom. And I'm still happy that I did that because I can do whatever I want to do artistically. And nowadays, I can push it out there as the best I can. And people, you know, will taste it and get, you know, say they like it or they don't like it. But the labels, the majors have never been, we had one major meeting with the label. That's where the term day after came from, actually. Me and Third Logic had a meeting at Sony when we were working on, I think we were done with day after, and we were working a little bit on maybe a little bit of Metapalindrome, I don't know. But that was it was day after, because I remember the next day, we felt so excited about that meeting. We were like, oh my God, we might get signed, blah, blah, blah. And day after was supposed to represent this feeling of excitement or this feeling of something the next day after something life-changing has happened in your life. And so I remember thinking, maybe Sony, because I remember walking in and seeing Maxwell on the wall and seeing Sade on the wall. And those were my favorites at the time. And so but I quickly let that dream go. Nothing even came of that meeting. It was a great meeting. There was definitely some, you need to be more hip, you need to be more of now kind of things that came out of that meeting. And I was like, nope, you can't change me. So we'll see you when we see you.
Hey, you know, everything happens for a reason. It's as if, you know, the story writes itself out. Of course, you have to put the work in, right? Yeah. And that's what you love to do. You love the challenge, and you've been doing so well at it that, you know, I feel like the creator has a good ending for you, you know, on your journey.